Good evening, I'm Emily Tavcheski.
And I'm Thomas Kelly. And here's what's coming up next on Panthervision.
There are ways of breaking it, but most thieves don't feel like working at it.
With warmer weather on the way, more bikes are hitting the roads. The simple things you can do to make sure you're not an easy prey for criminals.
Plus, a parking predicament.
It's just going to make things even harder. I mean, the little parking we have fills up so fast.
What we're learning about a free parking hotspot on campus.
And what happens when you put together a turkey, a toilet, and Willy Wonka.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom!
The competition involving these crazy contraptions.
All that and more next on UWM Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. With spring comes bikes.
And with bikes comes theft. UW-Madison police have seized over 600 bikes believed to be part of a stolen bike ring. Police found the bikes at 4 separate locations: a bike shop, a storage unit, an apartment, and a farm. It's believed most of them were stolen. Charges are pending against 2 men in their 50s.
Bike theft is a problem on all campuses, including UWM. But as Tanner Backel reports, you can protect yours by knowing a bit about bike locks.
Like many others, student Kaylee Breeze relies on her bike to get to class. That is, until it was stolen.
Came home from class, tied it up where I usually do, went to bed, whatever, woke up the next morning to go to class, and it was gone.
Her bike was stolen from her own backyard.
It was in August of 2014.
The timing doesn't surprise the bikesmiths, Scott Knoll.
The worst time of the year usually is when the new freshmen come in, because they come from maybe not a large city, and they have cables that their parents bought them, and they think that's good because it's good in their small town.
Scott says students are safer using a U-lock.
The best locks for the money are going to be the ones that are shaped like you. With something simple, they can't cut through this. It's going to take work, it's going to take something that is going to draw attention.
Kaylee used a chain lock for her bike.
The chain was gone, so I'm assuming they cut off the chain, took that with them, and then threw that away somewhere else.
Somebody can cut through these in less than 30 seconds with a small tool similar to this. So this basically you don't see, they'll have it in their pocket, they'll come up to a bike, and they'll look like they're trying to get the key in, and they'll be cutting through the cable, they'll cut the cable, get on the bike, and ride away.
Student Clay Haggerty knows firsthand the difference between the chain and U-lock from his job.
Yeah, those kryptonite locks, man, you can't cut through them. You'll spend like 20 minutes trying to cut through it with a diamond blade, and it still doesn't cut through. Those other ones go through like paper.
As the weather gets nicer, the risk of theft grows as more bikes hit the road.
The warmer the weather is, the more people want to get out there and ride, especially after a harsh winter, because there's a little more cabin fever.
In Milwaukee, I'm Tanner Backel for Panthervision.
UWM police logs show that 2 bikes were reported stolen just last week as the weather got warmer. Cycle safe locks are available to residents of university housing. They are located next to the south tower of Sandberg Halls. Rental is $125 a semester. Students who drive to school face a different kind of problem.
You may have heard the rumor that free parking is on its way out.
Panthervision's Brett Kilmeyer separates fact from fiction.
Students waiting for the bus, a daily occurrence for UWM's commuters, such as Ariel.
Waukesha County, New Berlin. Takes me like 30 minutes. That's if traffic isn't bad.
And rumors of free parking at Northwest Quad being eliminated has her even more worried.
It's just going to make things even harder. I mean, the little parking we have fills up so fast. I mean, I end up parking in the Union quite often.
Fortunately, the Student Association is working to ease commuter worries.
No, we are not eliminating free parking. The system we have now is really inefficient and really outdated. The Physical Environment Committee is looking at to get a parking ride at the McKinley Marina parking. So we're really looking at reforming how parking is managed on our campus. We're looking at opportunities to possibly implement a student parking pass.
When will these changes be made?
To be direct, I don't know. It could be next year, it could be 2 years from now. So all that's being done and reviewed right now.
For now, commuters will have to continue their morning struggle, but rest easy, knowing that free parking at the Northwest Quad is here to stay. In Milwaukee, I'm Brett Kilmeyer for Panthervision.
We have an update to this story. The Student Association has now voted to eliminate some of the free parking at the Northwest Quadrant. Starting in the fall, only the 4th and 5th floors will be free. Parking is paid out of student segregated fees. Currently, each student pays $25.60 per semester, regardless of whether they park there.
If you're looking to take the shuttle from Riverview to Cambridge, you'll have to call first. That's because the shuttle will not be running their normal hours during the spring break. Students will have to phone their housing office to request a ride. Normal shuttle hours will resume on Sunday.
There are several new developments in the state budget controversy. For the first time, a Republican lawmaker is saying the cuts to the UW system may be too severe. State Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says the proposed $300 million budget cut is deeper than he wants. And at UW Eau Claire, the chancellor has announced a plan to offer buyouts to about 325 faculty and staff. Eau Claire is the first UW school to announce buyouts. UWM Chancellor Mark Monet is expected to talk about whether UWM will consider buyouts later this week.
The proposed UW cuts are drawing an angry response from a national organization. The American Association of University Professors says the cuts are a radical assault on one of the nation's premier institute of public higher education. The association's president says he believes the Governor Walker is motivated by a desire to privatize the university system.
Alumni and students are also making their voice known on the budget situation. Most students probably can't remember the last time they hand-wrote a letter, but alumni, students, and community members gathered in the Wisconsin Room to write letters to state legislators. They're telling their stories, hoping to persuade lawmakers to reconsider the proposed budget cuts. Chancellor Monet says it's a chance to highlight the great work done at the university. The proposed budget has some deletions that have surprised UWM administrators.
As Panthervision's Jared Harrington reports, a little patch of the woods has become a big issue.
Warming up. Snow is melting. Students
Let me know how that game is. I will.
And trees are looking forward to spring. However, it came as a surprise to UWM and the community that one of the provisions from Governor Walker's budget would be eliminating state protections from the Downer Woods, an 11-acre preserve on campus. Tom Lujak, Vice Chancellor of University Relations and Communications, qualmed any fears people in the community might have about any changes to the land.
Our assumption right now is that if that protection, in fact, is taken off the state law books, that the Board of Regents would quickly approve a resolution that would continue the same protection for the Downer Woods.
And while students might be too busy to notice, UWM neighbors voiced their concerns.
Some people in my office have heard neighbors asking questions about what we're doing, and as I said a moment ago, we are making it very clear that we love Downer Woods the way they are, and we have no plans on changing.
So for now, while the looming budget cuts will cause major changes to the UWM system, Downer Woods can remain safe and an oasis on campus. In Milwaukee, I'm Jared Harrington for Panthervision.
Downer Woods has been a preserve on campus since 1998. It is managed by the UWM Field Station, which works continuously to restore it to the forest that once occupied the land.
A consultant on the budget issue is getting a pay raise. System President Ray Cross hired consultant John Yingling in August with a starting pay of $5,000 a month. Since January, he's been making $8,000 a month. Yingling's job is to look into budgeting, planning, and faculty management for the UW system.
Protesters are back in Madison, but this time it has nothing to do with the state budget. Thousands have taken to the streets to protest the shooting of an unarmed biracial man by a white police officer. The protesters marched to the Department of Corrections headquarters. They rallied against the shooting and against black incarceration rates. A smaller group rallied in support of the Madison Police Department. Both sides have remained peaceful. It's been a week of protests at the University of Oklahoma, all sparked by this video. The video shows members of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity singing a racist chant. It went viral after a student group at OU uploaded it to YouTube. The national headquarters of SAE shut down the chapter amid the backlash, and the president of OU severed ties with the fraternity.
Milwaukee police are investigating an armed robbery 1 block south of campus. UWM student was knocked down to the ground. 4 suspects were implied that they had a weapon. The suspects fled on foot. Police aren't saying what was stolen. The crime happened during the afternoon on Downer Avenue between Kenwood and Linwood.
You may not know it, but it's time to start thinking about who you want to run student government. Campaigning for the Student Association election is underway. Panthervision's Evan Vogel has the story.
Well, there's a lot of issues right now.
Student Association President Ryan Sorensen is in the majority by thinking there are big concerns for students right now. Considering the proposed budget cuts, the constant struggle for parking on campus, and the overall fear of program changes, there is a lot for Student Association members to discuss this campaign season.
A lot of my goals is, still continuing on reforming the parking problem that we have on campus right now. I want to continue working with a lot of our resource center directors to make sure that we have a strong student life present on campus. I also want to work with the Norris Health Center and the Women's Resource Center to make sure that we have a strong sexual assault education and prevention program in place.
The Student Association, or SA, is a governing body of UWM students who work in tandem with campus officials like the Chancellor, Provost, and other faculty to help make sure tuition and fees are used to the students' benefit. And as their election approaches, Vice President of Student Affairs Evan Braun hopes the students care enough to vote.
And it's $28 million of your money that's being controlled by a student government, and I mean, we do our best job to do it, but it's the students' job to make sure to go out there and vote on an educated basis so they know who's controlling and managing their fees.
And if history is any indication, not many students do.
National average for most student elections is around 4%,
So, both Evan and Ryan plan on using conversation as their weapon during the campaign.
Talk to people.
Well, like any campaign, you just got to talk to people.
Only time will tell if campaigning on important issues like campus parking and the budget cuts will get the student body to turn out for voting this year. In Milwaukee, for Panthervision, I'm Evan Vogel.
Nicotine can affect your financial future in more ways than the obvious.
Plus, completing a simple task in an unconventional way. We'll introduce you to the students taking part in this crazy competition.
That and more when we come back.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to start. Oh, it won't be easy at first. It'll take time, dedication, and commitment. It will be the most important thing you'll ever do. Yes, sooner or later, we'll all have to start. So, what are you waiting for? Saving for your financial future is easier than you think. Get started and choose to save. It will pay off in the long run.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Cartoonist Rube Goldberg was famous for creating ridiculous machines to complete simple tasks.
And now an annual contest challenges high school students to do just that.
This year's challenge? Erase a chalkboard. Panthervision's Alexander Shun has the story.
Themes and last-minute adjustments for such a simple task. That's the name of the game at the Rube Goldberg competition. The competition challenges high school teams to build a wacky machine to complete a simple task. This year's task? Erase a chalkboard. The teams have come up with a wide range of themes, from Back to the Future to Willy Wonka. Meet the guys from Wapaka. Their machine represents America's favorite family. The guys say that their choice of theme came easy.
We were just throwing out ideas and writing them on the whiteboard, and then after we had a big list, we all just voted on them and slowly eliminated it down, and it was between this and a couple other things, and this won by a long shot.
This is the team's first appearance at the competition, but experienced or not, the team knew what they were going to build the whole time.
We had some rough drawings on the whiteboard in the room we were working on, and we based it off of those, but we changed it a little bit here and there.
After making it this far, the team is hoping not to go home empty-handed.
It would be pretty cool, and it would show that we can do a lot with not much, starting off with not much. Compared to some of the other schools, we are smaller and less funded.
When it came time to demonstrate their machine for the judges, Wapaka did not disappoint. In Waukesha, I'm Alexander Shun for Panthervision.
The Wapaka team did not place, but they did receive a special award from one of the sponsors. Prius 11 won the first place and Milwaukee's Lutheran won second. They advanced to the national competition in April.
The student union is prepping for a redesign. A three-phase construction project could be done as soon as 2018. The union hasn't gone through a major update since the add-on in 1987. The proposed project will increase food service options, meeting rooms, and large event spaces. 72% of students who voted approved a union rebuild last spring. The Board of Regents will discuss the proposal in April.
Smoking is more than a bad vice. Two UWM economics professors have linked needing a nicotine fix to poor credit scores. Professors teamed up with researchers at the University of Minnesota to study employees at a trucking company. Controlling factors like income and demographics, they found that the drivers who smoked had lower credit scores than their non-smoking peers by an average of 35 points. Researchers are still looking into why that is the case. Past studies have linked smoking and poor personal financial decisions.
Finding a full-time job can bring a lot of stress for soon-to-be college grads, but MATC is helping ease their worries with career fairs and job training. Marlon Thompson takes us to the floor of this year's job shop in tonight's MATC report.
Here at MATC, it's not about being the best technical college in the Milwaukee area. It's about helping the students progress after their degree, in some cases while they're still in school, called internships. Ms. McGee of the Job Shop deals with the students and get them better prepared for a better, easier, smoother transition into the industry.
MATC provides hands-on training to give students the necessary skills for a smooth transition into business and industry. Here at MATC, our goal is to help our students to turn pro sooner. MATC has an 84% job placement rate after graduation. And here at the Job Shop, some of the things that we do to help facilitate the students' job search process is to, one, We assist them with resume reviews and also with mock interviewing, and then we also provide them with access to Wisconsin Tech Connect, which is our jobs database system. When students come in and they want to get connected with employers, some of the things that we do is actually set them up on the computer and create a profile for them in Wisconsin Tech Connect, which is our jobs database. And it is our goal here at MATC to help you to turn pro sooner.
Luis De Leon joins us for a look at our weather.
Thanks. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. Even though we're not in Florida right now, we are definitely seeing a rise in temperature, so that's a good sign for spring.
Yeah, what's going on this week?
As we go to our weather headlines, we're going to start this week with a warm Monday along with cloudy skies today and just a slight chance of rain. Maybe a stray shower or sprinkle here or there throughout today, but for the most part, very dry. As for the temperatures later this week, they will drop back down to the mid to upper 40s. Currently here in Milwaukee, overcast skies with that sun just peeking out here and there, and the temperature right now at 59 degrees and the dew point at 32. As for the rest of today, clouds are going to stick around, but temperatures are on the rise with a high of 65 today and a precipitation chance at 20%, so that stray shower is going to pop up here and there. As we go to our lows across the state, we're seeing a wide range in temperatures with our lows between the 20s and 30s, starting out west at Eau Claire at 30, La Crosse 34, State Capital 37. Moving northward from Milwaukee, low temperature of 38, in the Green Bay area at 29, and way up north in Rhinelander, pulling off that low of 27. For the highs today, a much different story with temperatures ranging from the 50s to the 60s. Milwaukee starting down here with a high of 65, the state capital 67, out west in Eau Claire 63, La Crosse 66, Green Bay area we see a high of 62, and up north in Rhinelander just getting that high into the mid-50s at 56, so a very warm day across the state. For tonight, cloudy skies with a low of 36. Winds picking up tonight, coming out of the north-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For tomorrow, those winds are going to stay consistent, coming out of the north-northwest this time at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies and a high of 48, so we're going to see those temperatures start to drop. For Wednesday, another day in the 40s with a high of 46 and mostly cloudy skies. Winds are going to calm down, so at 5 to 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest. So not too cold of a day. That frigid cold is all gone, but we are expecting some precipitation on Wednesday night. For your extended forecast, temperatures are going to continue to drop to the 40s and 50s. Thursday, we are going to see a mix of rain and sleet, mainly in the morning, but that should be the only precipitation we are going to see for the rest of the week. As Friday, we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 52. Moving into your weekend, we see partly cloudy skies again for both Saturday and Sunday, with highs at 43 and 40. And for the lows, mainly in the 30s. So it seems like temperatures are warming up. They may be dropping a little bit. It's a good chance for you all to get out onto the slopes for one last time before the season ends. So
yeah, it looks like you might need the parka for just one more weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Spring is upon us.
UWM Panthervision is winning more awards. The Midwest Broadcast Journalists Association holds a contest that takes entries from 6 states. Panthervision will be winning 3 awards, 2 for Best Series and 1 for Best Feature Story. And the Society of Professional Journalists has announced that Panthervision will be winning 3 Mark of Excellence awards. 2 are in the general reporting category, and 1 is for in-depth reporting. The awards will be given out on April 10th and 11th in Bloomington, Minnesota.
March Madness is in full swing as the UWM women's basketball team kicks off the postseason.
And big news for the Badgers. All that and more when we return on Panthervision.
General issued this warning because smoking causes lung cancer. The Surgeon General issued this warning because radon can cause lung cancer. Radon is an invisible radioactive gas that seeps inside your home from underground. Protect your family. Have your home tested. Call 1-800-SOS-RADON. Radon problems can be fixed.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
A strong, productive workforce. Building one requires proper education and training, not just for today, but for tomorrow. That's why for the last 100 years, thousands of successful workers wearing hats like these began their careers with this one hat.
One of UWM's most decorated athletes takes his last dive.
And the Badgers make it big.
Here's Jared Harrington with sports. Jared?
Thanks, guys. The UWM women's basketball season is over. Things started out well enough in the Horizon League tournament as the Lady Panthers beat Valparaiso in the first round. At one point in the game, the Panthers scored 18 consecutive points and went on to win 77-64. Ashley Green scored 23 points. It's the first postseason win for the Panthers since 2010. But then the Panthers ran into number 1 seeded UW Green Bay in the quarterfinals, where Green Bay beat the Panthers 74-62. The Wisconsin men's basketball team is a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament for the first time in history. The Badgers won the Big Ten Conference tournament in overtime yesterday. The Badgers will be playing in the West Regional. Their first game is on Friday in Omaha. Panther baseball has another pitcher of the week. Joe Pavlovich is the third UWM pitcher to win the league award so far this season. The team opened Horizon League play with a 3-game series against Youngstown on Friday. The series was moved to Westfield, Indiana because of unplayable field conditions. The Panthers won the series in exciting fashion. On Sunday, Sam Koenig's 3-run homer in the 11th inning to break a 6-6 tie lifted the Panthers to a 9-6 victory. A UWM women's track star is jumping her way into the record books. Panthervision's Thomas Kelly has the story.
It's no running joke on how well Cerise Hewitt is at track and field, winner of 4 prestigious awards in 2014 for the UWM Athletics.
I don't know why they would want to talk to you.
Ooh, the shade. It turned out really good. I indoor became a D2 All-American in triple jump, and as well as outdoor season, I became an All-American for that as well. So it was really fun. And indoor, I got 6th place, and in outdoor, I got 8th place. So it was a great experience for my first time ever competing in freshman college years.
Assistant coach Eric Kramer says how the team gets ready for the season.
Training in the fall, usually the second week of classes, we start with our fall conditioning, and they go through about 6 to 7 weeks of conditioning where it's just basic running and strength work in the weight room. And then after that 6 or 7 week period, we start up with event work where we get more event specific. So jumpers actually jump, hurdlers use hurdles, sprinters use blocks, those kind of things.
My teammates and my coaches are awesome. I mean, they are there for you when you are sad, when you're down, even when you don't want to be bothered because you're upset with your performance. There's always that one teammate on our team where they just know what to say to you at the right time, at the right moment.
In Milwaukee, I'm Thomas Kelly for Panthervision.
One of UWM's most decorated athletes has made his last dive. KJ Hager closed out his collegiate career placing 13th on platform in the NCAA championships. Hager was one of 3 UWM divers to compete in Iowa City. That's it for sports. Back to you, Emily and Thomas.
Thanks, Jared. Small businesses are partnering up with MATC's culinary students for a new kind of experience.
Tanner Burke takes us to the Midwest Food Expo for tonight's MATC report.
Food Service Expo comes around once a year for a 3-day convention where local businesses can expand their workforce, one business card at a time.
You know, the whole focus on hospitality and customer service really begins with our dining establishments. It's great to be here. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet folks from the industry, share with them some of the services and some of the things that we have available through the state that they may not be aware of.
It's seeing friends in the industry. It's also meeting new friends, learning new recipes, trying new foods, and just being a part of a large spectrum of the food service community. It's really exciting in that aspect.
The educational side of the expo is also a nice way to expand your craft as a student and as a culinary expert.
It's an educational opportunity for families, business owners, and chefs, cooks alike.
It was great to see all the culinary students coming through. I mean, to me, it was just I made sure I
explain to them, they can see the opportunity they have, and I think this is where you should come.
Robert Grether of Dashalita's Hot Sauces is very supportive of the expo and the networking that comes along with it.
I would say for me personally, it's been beneficial, and I think for most food service type industry businesses, it probably would be as well.
For more information on the expo or the Wisconsin Restaurant Association, go to wirestaurant.org. For Panthervision, I'm Tanner Burke.
Thank you for tuning in for tonight's edition of Panthervision.
You can watch us on Time Warner Channels 14 and AT&T's UVerse Channel 94 at 5:30 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and again on 10:30 on Saturdays and Sunday mornings.
Have a great week.